Welcome back to the Nadim X channel, guys. I'm your host, Hassan Nadim, and today we got some crazy, trippy videos to react to today. You know, something I've been realizing while I'm watching these type of videos is that there's a lot of darkness, there's a lot of negativity that comes with watching these type of videos. My goal here is just to open the eyes to people who don't understand what's really going on around the world so they can have a proper perspective of it through watching these videos, you know? But I realize if there's evil, there has to be good. And that good is Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, you know? I just want to give a little preaching moment, you know. I just want to say all glory to him, you know. And before I came to Yeshua, a lot of my life felt like I was walking with a lot of void, you know, without purpose. I was trying to fill my void up with like money. I was smoking a lot of weed, you know. I was in a very dark place in my life, you know. And that void, I call it the God's void, because you're missing God in your life. So if you feel like you're missing something in your life, just know that there is a God that loves you, and his name is Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. And he has a plan for you, you know. This world is getting darker and darker every day, but there's a beautiful God that's waiting for you and that wants a connection with you. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Let's go!
These two sisters saw something that still haunts them to this day. On January 20th, 1996 at 3 p.m. in Varginha, Brazil, two young sisters decided to take a shortcut home through a vacant parking lot where they allegedly encountered something terrifying. They came across this ugly looking creature described as having large red eyes, oily brown skin, V-shaped feet, and 3 rounded bulges on its head. Many people compared this being to the mythical Latin American creature known as the Chupacabra. Now, if you thought that wasn't easy on the eyes, wait until you find out that the creature had a strong putrid smell of ammonia. He supposedly smelled like ass. Anyway, when the two young sisters laid eyes on the creature, it's safe to say that it wasn't love at first sight. The creature spooked the bejesus out of them, and so they ran to their mother to explain to her what they had just witnessed. Now, prior to their sighting, two farmers, a woman and her husband, woke up to their cows going nuts outside, and to their surprise was a strange object in the sky the size of a bus, which was emitting smoke. Later that evening at around 6 p.m., two police officers spotted a bizarre animal collapsed on the road. An officer named Marco Cheriz scooped the creature up and took it to a local hospital which contained a special quarantine area. Animals were dying at the local zoo without any explanation, and weird shit was just going down. But it gets weirder. Almost a month after the incident, the police officer Marco Cheriz that picked up the creature passed away in a local hospital. It was reported that he developed an abscess and flu-like symptoms right before he died. What's even more trippy is that the two sisters who witnessed the other creature were later visited by 5 men who offered them money to keep hush-hush on their encounter. To this day, the military continues to deny the story, and as a matter of fact, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, James Fox, is releasing a documentary on this incident later this year. He actually made the documentary The Phenomenon, which I highly encourage you guys to watch. So yeah, this is basically like the Roswell of Brazil, and the military is totally covering this case up. It was too risky, you know. People find out about this, especially in 96, and they'll all go crazy. I understand why they would cover it up at the time. But folks, the time has come to urge governments to release this info to the public. The majority of people are ready for disclosure. Before I go, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for helping me get to 100,000 followers. You guys have really motivated me to continue making content. And as promised,
Congrats,
I'll be launching
buddy.
a podcast on YouTube very soon titled Fight or Flight. I'll be attempting to go face to face with eyewitnesses and former government officials in a push for what we call disclosure. That, along with conveying the most interesting UFO and extraterrestrial encounter cases and sharing personal accounts regarding this phenomenon. Hope you stick around, and as always, keep it adrenaline.
Yeah, I heard about the Virginia accident. I think it was on maybe Joe Rogan's podcast, but it's something that's been just barraging the news and the media lately. And it's basically, like he said, the Roswell, but of Brazil. And I think it happened around 1996. And these 2-3 girls, they found these aliens. They found this alien just like in a ball, you know. And this crazy story, you know, they suppressed it a lot. I wonder why it's coming out now, you know. but we'll see more about it.
Vai gravar, né? Caraca, mano.
What is that?
Bicho, mano.
Is that an X-ray scan?
Que isso, cara?
Jeez!
4 dedos, cara.
That boy.
Cara. Que cara.
Yeah.
Ah, os implantes são essas coisinhas, né?
Exatamente.
Aham.
I'm not too familiar with like pedicure, spas, and all that, but that boy need a pedicure, if that's the right word. That's some messed up feet. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Tem só 4 dedos. Não sei se tá dando pra pegar legal. Por causa da luz aqui, mas... Então, esses implantes...
I was watching this documentary today. It's a new James Fox documentary about a UFO landing in Brazil in 1996. Holy shit, it's incredible. I had no idea that there's this city called Varginha, and in 1996, according to everyone who was there, according to medical records of people who were there, the military came in, they recovered a crashed UFO, and there was living creatures that people came in contact with, and one of them was this tiny little thing that this guy carried, and he carried it to wherever they were going to examine it. When he carried it, he got whatever was on its skin. It had like a slippery kind of skin. It got into his body and infected him, and he wound up with this horrible general infection, and he wound up dying.
Dang.
His body shut down. His immune system shut down. His body didn't know what the fuck to do with this alien thing that he was interacting with. There's real records of this guy contacting this thing, grabbing it, carrying it in. All these people witnessed it, and then this guy winds up with this insane infection shortly thereafterwards. That's all documented too. All of his medical records.
Yeah, that's the doctor, guys. You're gonna see. Just read the subtitles. I won't talk.
Verdade, nada mais do que a verdade. Sou médico há 46 anos e em 1996, no dia 20 de janeiro, eu fui chamado para ver um paciente, né? E quando eu fui ver, não era um ser do nosso planeta, né? Que fui chamado eventualmente para dar minha opinião sobre o caso, e eu vi o caso sob o ponto de vista médico. Consciente, sem dor, sem sangramento, respirando bem, muito calmo, muito tranquilo, parecia uma criança de uns 7 anos, branquinho, não tinha mau cheiro, a cabecinha grande, mas em forma de gota, né? Boca pequenininha, uma das mãos estava dentro de um campo e outra para fora. O olho não era vermelho, estava lilás, também em forma de gota, e me olhou de uma maneira muito tranquila, não estava agitado, não estava agressivo, não estava com dor, e na minha opinião não estava com medo também. Na minha opinião, estava entendendo o que estava acontecendo ali. É um olhar muito bonito de ver, um olhar assim sem julgamento, né? 2 vezes ele olhou para mim, olhou para a janela, olhou para mim outra vez. Eu senti assim, eu fiquei próximo dele, né? 1,5 metro, assim, não toquei nele, mas eu fiquei próximo. E a maneira de olhar é uma maneira assim que ele parece que era uma inteligência maior do que a nossa, do que a humana, né? Que ele estava entendendo, apesar de ele estar assim numa situação de defesa, ele não estava com medo, ele estava entendendo o que estava acontecendo, né? Possivelmente deveria ter algum propósito, alguma coisa para estar fazendo o que ele estava fazendo. E a verdade é que eu sou testemunha ocular, eu vi o ser sim. Podem falar o que for, brincam, zombam, falam uma porção de coisas, mas eu vi ali, deitado na minha frente. É importante as pessoas saberem que não estamos falando de dinheiro, estamos falando de uma coisa que muda o conceito da humanidade, né? Que é um ser de um outro local. Eu fui lá, não fui procurar, eu fui lá por um acaso, ver um outro paciente e eu vi. Então eu acho importante as pessoas saberem que sim, quem fala que viu, quem viu espaçonave, viu, nós vimos mesmo. E não é fácil ficar aqui na frente da câmera falando sobre isso. Que perguntam, parece que a gente está mentindo, você tem que insistir. Já jurei que vi mesmo e vi, né? Que os seres mais novos acreditem que existe sim.
I don't know if I'm going crazy, but
Wow. So apparently that's the doctor that performed aid on the alien or demon, you know? But that is super interesting that maybe throughout the years, him trying to vocalize that he did XYZ on Alien to provide aid has been suppressed for a long time, you know? And now it's just coming up. That's what's like kind of like like playing with my mind a little bit, but crazy, y'all.
I just found out who the Antichrist will be. For the past year, I've been obsessed with the idea that the Antichrist comes from Islam, which I still think is true, but I think there's more to the story. And the story starts with King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Now, I'm going to try my best and simplify this for you. King Nebuchadnezzar has this dream where this statue is represented as 4 different kingdoms. Now, I'm fast forwarding through a lot, but I'm just saving you time. Now, the first kingdom is King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, the head of gold. The second kingdom, the chests and the arms, are the Medes and the Persians. And the third kingdom, the belly of bronze, is Greece. Now, growing up, I've always been taught that the legs of iron were Rome, but for some reason, again, for the past couple of months, I've been obsessed with the idea that Islam is the legs of iron. But I think it goes deeper than that. Now, Daniel ends up having another vision of 4 beasts, and these 4 beasts are directly connected to the 4 empires from that statue. So the 4th beast would be where the Antichrist comes from. So let's look at how the 4th beast is described. Since I just went over the 1 minute mark, I'm going to make a part 2 to this, like right after this video posts. So don't worry, just go to my channel really quick. I hate to be that guy, but that's just what I'm gonna do.
Shit is getting weird. What is this? A green light shining into people's homes and backyards has neighbors baffled and concerned. And tonight, Wink News is searching for answers.
Yeah, Wink News reporter Summer Senni went to Cape Coral for a closer look. A colorful nightlight.
What is that?
Possibly something more.
That's why you need a blue roof.
Night when she saw an airplane overhead, but it wasn't your typical.
So you got no lasers going up in your house, man.
Back and forth with a laser beam, and it scanned over me multiple times. Philip and Lisa Bartolio also saw the plane from their backyard in Southeast Cape.
It was just like a pattern, like maybe a square or something.
Yeah, like 2 lines of green all the way around the square. It was scanning the whole area, every square footage, basically, covering Cape Coral. It's really weird. People who live here saw mysterious laser flights for 3 nights in a row, and they all asked the same question.
What's going on here?
Whoa.
It's weird.
That is weird.
Wink News.
Now, when you see shit like that and hear shit like that, you know it's some shit about to happen, y'all.
It's like they're trying to find something.
Oh my god.
Okay, you guys, so I saw some people talking about how in Revelations, the terms have changed when it's talking about the mark of the beast. So I wanted to check out in my old 1857 Bible what it says. So if we go here to Revelations, it's 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. Wait, okay, this is the part. To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell save he, that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, so it's changed. In our newer Bibles, it says mark on their right hand or on their foreheads. I wonder when this changed. If any of you know, let me know. And if you know any other like changes like this, can you let me know in the comments so I can look them up in this Bible?
That is insane. You know, they're going to tweak those little things so you can interpret it differently, you know? And that makes me think, like, when it says in your hand, what are they trying to tell you? In your forehead, what are they trying to tell you? They're trying to tell you, you're trying to put a chip in your hand, a chip in your head, man. Get out of here, bro. I ain't gonna fall for that, man. Anything that's gonna be on my right hand or on my forehead, and it has to be a mark for me to either buy, sell, or live, or buy food, or any of that, not taking that.
In there, you blindfolded, you have no shirt on, and then you hear them singing songs, demonic songs to different demons.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus.
Liquor on you. Crazy about it, that morning I got up, I looked at the mirrors. I didn't have no light in my eyes no more. They were gone.
This is not Mark. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's go.
Say what you just said again.
Isn't that Mark Zuckerberg? No, it's not, bro.
Yo, that boy kind of look like Mark Zuckerberg too, bro. Not gonna lie. Dang, yo. The oval head, the elongated forehead, the buzz cut, on the dot, bro.
Come on, dogs. Really?
Wow, that actually looks like him.
It's not him, dogs. It's not him.
Entertainment purposes only.
Who's that? Who is that statue? Because he pulled the picture up on his phone and it looked like Mark. But that doesn't mean it was Mark. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know where the hell that video was filmed at and who that guy is and where that statue's even at. So people are saying this in the museum. How would I know I'm home?
I'm home.
Listen, bro. I told you, listen. This just means that these people that are in high places, that just means that they've been here already. People are saying that he could possibly be a TT. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what time is it? So that, how is there a statue of him in the museum? Because it did look like him. But let's not forget, guys, everything we see is not true. It could have been AI. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game on here, guys. You know what time is it? But I tell you one thing. If I ever go to a museum and I see a statue that looks like somebody that's in a high position right now in this timeline. Where's that, bro? Right there?
There's a conspiracy theory about your husband. And I feel like I actually just need to bring up the picture that he might be William Shakespeare reincarnated. Well, because look. It's kind of nuts, right? I thought it was. I mean, it took seeing the photo for me to go, oh, I should take this seriously. I did a little digging. What'd you learn? So, Anne Juliet is a play where what if Juliet didn't die with Romeo? And a lot of it is influenced by Shakespeare's wife. And her name is Anne Hathaway. It's weird, right? Hot. We're not commenting on that. It's like, we're back! No, it wouldn't. It would be great if it was true, but even if it's not, still kind of great.
Literally, they're back. They've been back. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm happy. I think that's an actress too, but the way they just put it in our faces, pay attention to her facial reactions, her expressions, to her talking about William Shakespeare and the comparison with her husband, like,
I love that your husband love that he's cute. I don't want to like go on about it, but yeah.
The last time we talked, the way you talked about him,
I'm blushing.
So what are the chances that all celebrities and
why.
well-known names that you've heard of before all seem to have lookalikes from the past? Seriously, what are the chances that the most well-known people of today also happen to have lookalikes of the most well-known people from the past? How is it possible that the most relevant people and names you've heard of today all happen to have portraits of them hundreds of years ago, and they were also relevant enough to have a portrait of themselves back then? If you try and search for old pictures and portraits of people that look like you or anyone you know, you're not gonna find them. But there just so happens to be pictures of people back then that are the most famous people now. And they also happen to be the most famous people back then too. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why is it only the most famous people you know? And no one else, just people that you see on your screens every day. It's like strictly people that have influence. And not only did they have influence back then, but they're the same people that have influence now, today. It simply makes no sense. Fallen angels that can't die.
So when did they switch out Selena Gomez? Because who the heck is this, y'all? Who is that? Is this what they mean by time is speeding up? Because these celebrities are aging.
That's just a clone, bro. That's model 4422, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And why is she so stiff?
Hey, do you guys want to see all the hard work the lizards are doing to keep the plasma goddess from us? Here, take a look. I went on a little airplane ride, and there was a bunch of these low-hanging clouds, right? And they're just little fluffy ones and stuff, probably held up by the, you know, the 5G and stuff. But then if you go up a little bit, check this out. There's a huge gap, and then another layer of clouds. Why are they double layering us? It's almost like they're trying to keep us in the dark. Have you guys ever seen that movie Dark City, where there's a bunch of vampires, and this is just a movie, but a bunch of vampires want to take over the dream world or whatever, and everyone just lives in the dark? That's kind of what it feels like for us. And then you look at these clouds, you're like, there's so many patterns in here. This is so weird. Isn't nature so cool, giving us these cool patterns through air turbulence or whatever the fuck? I don't know though, kind of looks like a bunch of things being suspended in the air with maybe like electronic, magnetic emissions coming from little tiny towers or something. Okay, look, there's like a third layer on top. This one's even casting a shadow. See that hard edge right there in the middle that's casting a shadow onto the second or third layer of clouds that we're all flying through? Yeah, dude, every day we're looking at the sun or the sky through like 3 layers of clouds. Look at all those patterns. Would you think those are natural from air turbulence, wind? I don't know. Looks like a bunch of hedgerows, like someone was planting a little garden of darkness above us. But I don't know. Also, look at how hazy the sky is all the time. Hey, look, they tried their best to keep us from seeing it, but I got to see it a little bit. I felt the warmth of the plasma goddess on my face for 5 seconds. And then we went back under the clouds. Hey, look, there's the Lake Michigan mining site that they backfilled with water after they got all the copper out. And there's Chicago, the city that's always been there, way before we say we got here. Anyway, Chicago to New York, completely covered with this BS.
But I'm gonna tell you, bro, being a bodyguard for certain people, the talent will show up to a place for a video shoot. Everything is already laid out. The talent will have no idea that they're in a ritual. Sometimes they change the flooring digitally. When they showed up, they wasn't standing on a pentagram, but when the video come out, they are. I've seen that happen. And then you got some people, when you show up to the video set, you see a weird lady there, and they offering you help. And I've seen an artist before say, listen, y'all offering me this help, but I'm not gonna give up anything for y'all to help me. And they said, well, good luck to you, young man. And his album never even came out after that.
Dang.
He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun, Osiris?
Someone needs to say it talking, bro.
Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
Rome never fell. It went underground and became the church and used religion to take over the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even when I was doing my research on like different holidays, like Christmas, everything backtracked to Rome. Everything backtracked to Rome. Even when Caesar used syncretism to merge Saturnalia, which is the ancient Christmas, with the Christmas that we kind of see today, because they're trying to make that nation a Christian nation. So they had to do syncretism to do that, because people were not going to just give up those festivals. You know, they want to give up those things. But if you want to follow Yahuwah, Yeshua, the Almighty true God, you have to be able to, you know, take those things out of your life, you know, because you can't mix light with darkness. I'm just going to leave that there.
You was the devil, and you wanted to fracture a man's mind from the day he was born until the day he died, particularly a man, because I'm going to ask a woman next. What would you do?
If I were the devil and I wanted to fracture a man from the day he was born until the day he died, here's exactly how I'd do it. I'd make sure he's born into a system that fears his power before he even knows he has it. And from the moment he takes his first breath, I'd begin the quiet war. Not with violence, with shame. Not with chains, with conditioning. I'd program his parents before he arrives. Make sure his father is numb, unavailable, or absent. Make sure his mother is overwhelmed, unsupported, and carrying wounds from her own father. Now he enters a home where love is unstable, safety is conditional, and emotions are never fully seen. That's his blueprint. Then I'd weaponize school. I'd sit him in a chair for 6 hours a day and punish him for needing to move, explore, or question. I'd make sure his wildness is labeled disorder. I'd grow his spirit before it grows teeth. And I'd make sure no one ever tells him you're not broken, you're just awake. I'd confuse his masculinity early. Tell him real men are aggressive, competitive, emotionally shut off. Tell him kindness is weakness. Tell him silence is strength. Then I'd mock him when he becomes emotionally unavailable and call him toxic when he cracks. Now he's confused, ashamed, and disconnected from his core. I'd fracture his sexuality before he even knows what it is. Introduce porn before connection, pleasure before intimacy, control before vulnerability. Now he learns to chase validation through conquest, not love. He'll have sex without ever being touched. I'd tell him his worth is tied to performance. Grades, muscles, money, status, every achievement praised, every emotion ignored. Now he's addicted to results, terrified of failure, and ashamed of softness. But no one sees it because he looks successful. I'd isolate him. Make sure he's surrounded by people but never truly known. Teach him to joke through pain, distract through humor, and lie with confidence. He'll be the strongest in the room and still feel like a fraud. I'd keep him in silent competition with every other man. Convince him that brotherhood is weakness, that vulnerability will get him betrayed, that trusting another man will make him prey. Now he stands alone, strong, admired, and completely disconnected. I'd wound his heart and make him hide it. Let his first love break him wide open. Then tell him to man up. Never speak of it again. Now, every woman he loves after that is filtered through a wound he was never allowed to name. I'd keep him chasing something he can never reach. The perfect body, the perfect career, the perfect partner, the perfect moment where he finally feels enough. But it never arrives, because the void wasn't created by lack of achievement. It was created by lack of remembrance. And I'd make sure he dies respected, admired, and unknown. The good man, the provider, the one who never asked for help. He'll leave behind a legacy of strength, but take his truth to the grave. That's how I'd fracture a man. Not with trauma, with slow erosion, with silence, with lies dressed as love, until he forgets what it ever felt like to be whole.
She's really out there. A mysterious man who claims he's from the year 2030 has created headlines around the world.
Now, he's known only as Noah, and he was interviewed on paranormal online channel Apex TV, allegedly while on a lie detector.
Are you an actual time traveler from the year 2030?
Yeah.
If Trump's going to be re-elected, is that true?
Yes, he is going to be re-elected.
Okay. And how about from the time you're from, in 2030, who's going to be president?
Yolanda Renee King.
Now, Noah had his wrists x-rayed to show implants he claims are crucial to his time travel, but has refused to allow them to be surgically removed.
That boy got the mark of the beast before it came out.
So, here we are. Let's cross live now to the man himself. As you can see there, it's an undisclosed location, and we're keeping identity fairly secret there. But Noah, let's say good morning to you. Why are you so worried about people knowing who you are, and don't you think that makes people question your credibility?
Yes, it could make people question my credibility, but the reason why I do it for the most part is because the government can't find me, and because people could help them if I showed my face, which would be a major, major bad thing for me.
Okay.
And as well as the thing, yeah. Continue.
So why do you think what do you think that the government would do to you if they found you?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they would do horrible things. But
Do you think they were trying to tell us things in movies like Benjamin Buttons, where Brad Pitt literally age reduces throughout the movie, and hey, the secret to eternal youth with Benjamin Buttons? And what about the movie Big, where Tom Hanks literally goes from young to old to young again? And hey,
oh yeah, I watched that movie.
Who was in that movie? Elizabeth Perkins. She was the love interest to Tom Hanks, and well, I couldn't help but notice something. I couldn't help but notice how much Elizabeth Perkins looked like Millie Bobby Brown, aka Eleven from Stranger Things. But for once, it's not just me that thinks it. Newsweek thinks it. Actors Daily profile on Facebook posted about it. Even Reddit is noticing the vast similarities. But is that it? Is it just similarities? Are they just doppelgangers, or is something more going on? And was her being in the movie Big just them telling us? Well, why don't we put it to the old symmetry test and see if they line up pretty well? And, well, I couldn't help but notice how even the eyebrows were in the perfect alignment, and the eyes, both eyebrows, the nose, the lips, the mouth, all pretty symmetrical. And when we do two different photos, they seem to line up again, pretty symmetrical, and I couldn't help but notice how their noses looked absolutely identical. You think there's anything else that's identical? Like that hole in her face, right there, and seems to be another one, right in the exact same location in comparison to the nose. Do you think if we scroll up past the eye, we might see anything? There seems to be some sort of scarring there, like remnants of something, like, say, I don't know, a hole in your face. Like if you tried to cover that up or fill it, maybe there'd still be some remnants there. It's funny how they're in the exact same place in comparison to that eyebrow. Hey, it's Millie. Hey, it's the big lady. Oh no, but the fun doesn't stop there. If you can be young and then old and then get young again, you can probably do it more than once, right? Well, here's Elizabeth Perkins from the 80s or 90s, and here's Eleven from today, so she was old and then young, but you think there's evidence she's done it before? Well, here's Elizabeth Perkins, and here's Judy Garland, aka Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And here's Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and Millie Bobby Brown, aka Eleven. And here's Dorothy and Eleven, seeing if they pass the symmetry test, and it's pretty spot on. But of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I don't really think that they're the same entity and that we've been blinded to the fact that they can do this, because they hid the true nature of our reality from us by telling us we're evolved chimps spinning on a ball in endless outer space with other galaxies and planets and endless blackness out there, instead of being in God's little beautiful creation covered by the firmament where spiritual things can happen. They can't. They just don't want you to know, because then you might actually give praise to the Father that created all this.
Yes, sir.
Entertainment only. I don't really think all that. I mean,
what was King Kong trying to really tell us here, guys? What the?
Dang.
What? Shh! Shut up! What is this? He got really upset when that happened too. Why is that little girl looking up like that? Shh! Don't say it. It's just a movie, right? But what was King Kong really trying to tell us? What does that have to do with King Kong, right? Why is he throwing things into the sky and then something breaks? People are saying that they're trying to tell us that the sky's not real. Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what people are talking about, because that's just a movie and that's special effects. Shh! Shut up! You see, guys, they always gotta tell you. Somebody said that that's called universal law. But I said, come on, bro. You making up words now? Stop playing with me. Son, it's not a game on here, guys. You know what time is it. Shut up. They showed you. There's a dome above us. That's what people are saying. I wouldn't know what's above us. I'm on ground, right? So he threw that thing into the sky and it broke. And it kind of reminded me of that movie, The Truman Show. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. You know what's going on out here.
Fire movie, by the way.
Shut up! But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever have enough strength to throw something that high in the sky, and then that happens, I don't care. Why am I paying my bills for if this world's not real and the sky's not real, man? Who cares?
There's no one talking about the Vatican. Everyone's talking about the Epi-files and releasing the Epi-files. We need to release the Vatican secrets, okay? Because learning that the Vatican is one of the deepest and darkest places on this earth, and learning about the secrets that they hold and how many things that they have changed throughout time. Listen, y'all, the Vatican is thousands of years old. The knowledge that they have in those 53 miles of books, I think it's what, 35,000 volumes, and learning that the Vatican are actually the ones responsible for taking those books out of the Bible, like the Book of Enoch and the Book of Maccabees and the Book of Giants. And speaking of the Giants, did y'all know that there was a Pharisee named Josephus that lived like way in the AD time, and he would speak about Nephilim corpses on display? Like back then, it was common knowledge that giants existed. It's only now that it's been put in the media that it's just a myth. Apparently, there's proof of that down there too. It's literally built on a graveyard of pagans that were brutally unalived. There's a monument, that long, tall one, I forgot what it's called. It was stolen from Egypt by a Roman tyrant, and that same monument was what they used to unalive thousands of Christians by impaling them on that thing. Everything about the Vatican is so dark.
It is,
Can we talk about the huge giant doors? What would those have been used for if giants didn't exist? And why take out the Book of Giants, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jasher? All of these manuscripts and ancient texts that tell us that there is so much more to this spiritual warfare. Why do they still have the head of Saint Sienna? Why do they have the bones of over 30 popes? Why do they have their own police system, a separate police system just for the Vatican? That isn't sus to y'all. I don't know what would be sus to y'all, because why do you need a whole
My light died.
Y'all trying to cover
Just
up?
letting you know.
Some people say that it's not just books in those archives, but evidence of other creatures that live on the earth. It's even said that they have proof that the Nephilim and the fallen angels were the ones that are responsible for the pyramids in Egypt. I mean, I feel like we already knew that, especially because giants are all over Egyptian hieroglyphics, and the pyramids itself are like pure magic. It's got to be divine knowledge, the way that they are directly aligned with the Orion star system, how time travels 3 times as fast in there. There are literally voids where no one can get into. And each cinder block that is over a ton, how humans would be able to pick that up, I don't know, unless maybe they were giants, are placed so perfectly by the millimeter that if it were to be off even a little bit, it would all come crumbling down. And the fact that there are pyramids literally all over, and there are those same type of hieroglyphics and pyramids in the Grand Canyon, and allegedly all of these things were covered up by the Smithsonian Museum. I can't say that without getting banned. And they have ties to the Vatican as well. It all goes back to them. This is so interesting, guys. You guys wanted me to dive into this for the longest, so let's get into it. I'm thinking we start a Vatican series. What do you think? Don't forget to like and follow.
Know that Jim Carrey is allegedly a satanic priest of the highest order? Allegedly. This video is just for entertainment. It's not to be taken seriously, so please don't. This is just for laughs and issues and giggles and is not meant to hurt anybody. In any event, Mr. JC, not Jesus Christ, Jim Carrey, who sits at the very center of a parody of The Last Supper, wearing a picture of Saturn that represents the most low demonic devil. That's true. Saturnalia, celebration of Saturn, the most low, Christmas, tithing, all this other stuff, is there parodying with the most memorable, I guess, comedians of my time, because I guess I grew up during their time, and they all, if you look at their shirts and the different symbolisms, are all acknowledging and celebrating Satan, the most low. All these people who enjoy pizza, and if you don't know what pizza is, pizza is children. Children. Cappy was off for bringing attention to this. A lot of people say by Tom Hanks, but he did speak to Jim Carrey. In one of his own videos, he alleges Jim Carrey was scared for him and scared for everybody because of the brackets. Brackets are the deaths and so forth. That's true. That's 1,000% true. You can find the video. And Cappy was like, you can't be scared, man. If you eat children, you're going to die. You're going to burn. but there's a chance he was trying to save people. Do you think that they got saved? No. Years later, they're parodying the Most High, accrediting the universe. Well, I'll tell you one thing you can't credit the universe for. You're burning in hell forever for being a demonic piece of...
See if you're good. What the fuck is that?
What is that?
It's a fucking...
What?
What the fuck is that?
What? That was crazy, dog. Back in the car. What is that, brother? What the heck is that? What is that? That kind of looked like a biblical angel. You know what I mean? Like you see in the Bible, like the way they describe angels, kind of looks like that, like a wheel within a wheel type thing. You know, that was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This footage is seriously freaking people out. A thermal camera was set up on a mountain, a place that's supposed to be completely off limits. No hikers, no houses, nothing. But around midnight, the camera picked up two human figures. One was clearly chasing the other. They ran through the trees until the heat signature vanished. And then something even stranger happened.
Yep, we need to count our days as the US has now found an angry, violent creature the size of our entire continent emerging from our waters, and our end times now officially has a date. Many are horrified after a world-ending biblical Leviathan and its head is right by Venezuela, and it is not only rising and will be fully woken up in just days, but what the US has done will end us all. As biblical verse Job 41 warns of when our ocean starts to boil like a pot, a Leviathan will start to emerge, and the end is imminent. And haunting viral videos show the waters that are
whoa. Okay, apparently that's the head of Leviathan there. That's a big boy. That's the size of a continent, guy. What the heck? It makes you think a lot. It even says in the Word of God that the waters are going to start to boil, right? So what if the snowstorms that we're seeing right now, it's to freeze the water so that big boy doesn't come and breathe some air? You know what I'm saying? Bro, that is huge. He just looks like a kind of like, if that's what I'm talking, if you see the purple part, that's maybe his eyeball, then that shape around at the end, yeah, that kind of looks like the beak, you know what I'm saying? Look at the state of that thing, brother. Oh my gosh. If that's a whole like creature, we're done for, man.
Head of the dragon, and where the mouth of the Leviathan would be is already fully boiling up. The same biblical verse cites an increase in floods and earthquakes when the creature starts to move. And recent reports are showing a severe increase in flooding and earthquakes all along the west coast, where its body would be, with the most activity in Alaska, where the tail would be. And when a creature with the tail wakes up, that is exactly what moves first. With the US recently announcing they will run Venezuela, but many theorize, is this really for oil, or is it an attempt to keep the beast at bay?
Did you know that NASA made a deal with Nikon conveniently right before the last solar eclipse, and shortly after they discontinued the P1000, which is what you're seeing right now, commonly referred to as the Globe Buster because it can zoom in on ships that have apparently gone over the curvature of the Earth, and it brings them back into perspective. How convenient is that? I think a big reason that they did this was because people were able to zoom right in on objects that are apparently 235,000 kilometers away. Does that look like it's 235,000?
Heck no, that's in the firmament, dog.
To you guys, or does it look a little bit closer to the Earth? Like the same size of the sun, the same distance away, just the way we observe. Maybe that's why they discontinued it. Or was it because people were exposing what stars actually look like, zoomed in, but we're told that stars are billions of light years away? How can we zoom in that close on something that is billions of light years away? How is that possible? And when we zoom in on the stars and we kind of see that the patterns that the stars do and how they twinkle in the night sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. They look very similar to water reflecting in a pool. This looks like water and frequency.
Looks like a wheel,
just like
too,
this right
a
here.
little
This
bit.
is the sun reflecting in a pool and giving this reflection. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It looks the exact same way. Buddy's gonna kick it right here. My boy Clark, he's gonna kick it and you're gonna see it's the same thing, guys. Water's above, so below. Ships do not go over the horizon, over the curvature. The Earth is as flat as a pancake. The P1000 proves it, and this is why it was discontinued. You got to stay awake and stay aware in this life. Read the Bible, observe with your own eyes, and you will find the truth, and
Amen.
the truth shall set you free. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
Yo, so tell me why I'm rewatching Avatar right now and I see this shit, bro. Just wait. Just wait. It's right here. Watch what the fuck you're about to see. Let me get the remote. Let me get the fucking remote. Watch this shit. Watch this shit. Watch this shit.
What am I looking at?
Y'all see that? Y'all see that?
I don't see it, bro. Ooh.
Boom, motherfucker.
Ooh, that's a find. That's a pentagon.
Yo. Nah. That's crazy.
Or that demonic symbol. Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's Sol's our moon. Our moon's artificial, completely artificial. It was brought here from Ursa Minor, apparently between 11 and 12,000 years ago.
For the purpose of
being a satellite in a base, which they evacuated some time ago, but it's now being operational again. And I covered this in the series of 8. It came from a star system called Chata. That's for a word. That's the word they used, Chata, and it was the 17th planet out of a solar system that had 21 planets, and it was one of 4 moons, and it was brought here. It is older than the Earth. There are ruins all over it. There are bases underneath it. It's everything that we're told it isn't. So that's a whole unique story unto itself.
Has anyone else noticed that most of these snowstorms have been on the weekend? It's almost as if they want us working our jobs during the week and then our time off to be spent dealing with snow and stuck inside. Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. Has anyone seen the sky leading up to this weekend?
Yeah, facts. Chemtrails like
Anyway,
crazy.
Stay safe, guys.
You know why
Especially
humans
in
aren't allowed
Canada.
to talk to dolphins? Because water holds memory and they know the truth. And they are also mammals, so there's a way for us to communicate, but there's a specific way that we have to do it. Don't believe me? The Tartarian Empire created buildings that vibrated at a certain frequency that could heal our human bodies. Dolphins communicate through echolocation frequency. So you know what that means. Dolphins can heal us. And /4, we can communicate through frequencies. You don't think that out of anybody that's ever lived on this planet called Earth, nobody has found a way to use frequency to their advantage? But you can believe that they build planes and ships and all of these and iPhones that we can call each other through cell towers, right? Frequency, we can call each other through frequency. But you don't believe we can't talk to, okay, I'm just saying though, that's just me though. But feel me, make sure y'all here for my YouTube channel where we gonna discuss all things conspiracy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, subscribe now, link in my motherfucking bio. Don't miss that first video on February 1st, baby.
I am in complete shock and disbelief at
I don't know who that
someone
is.
just tagged me in. Have you ever seen the commercial for Celine Dion's kids clothing line? The stuff that's in this commercial
She looked crazy.
is completely unhinged, twisted, and mind-blowing. She has a kids clothing line called New New. And if you're unfamiliar with what New New stands for, I'll start it and you finish it. New World. Take a look at this. These are toddlers' clothes. Take a look
New
at the
World
symbolism.
Order, the eye.
Everyone knows what that means. This is for babies.
Dude.
Want to start them young, huh? Devil horns for a hat. This is not Photoshop. This is not AI. This is literally her clothing brand. Look it up for yourself. There's Instagram accounts, X accounts for it, even a website. Look at this. And this. And this. And what the heck is this? Here's the actual commercial. Watch.
Our children.
I want to watch that crap, man.
Our children. As we are all just links in a never-ending chain.
Now, why would NASA be frolicking around in Algeria, but pretending to be on the planet of Mars? Couldn't they just go to Mars and take a bunch of videos and pictures and it'd be super, super simple? No. They decided to go to Algeria, which coincidentally looks exactly like Mars, and then claim to be on Mars. Weird. You know, NASA says that this is a real picture of Mars. But I would argue that that is a CGI image. And the real videos and pictures of Mars reveal to us that Mars is not a giant rock in outer space that we can land on, but it's light and sound resonance in the firmament above. That is energy, light and sound, vibrating at a specific frequency in one of the layers of the firmament. It is not a physical planet that we can land on. And the funny thing is, if you mimic the atmosphere of Mars, which is basically just CO2 and nothing else, you can't have propulsion. He turns the fan on and it won't even blow a feather. So the videos of all of these rovers landing on Mars with a bunch of dust getting kicked up, it's all fake. Unless they went and landed in Algeria, which is probably what they did. So what you're watching is a drone landing in Algeria. But when that guy turned that fan on and the feather actually started moving, that's because he added air back into the chamber. He created the atmosphere of Earth. So Elon Musk saying that we're going to Mars, he's playing with you. This video was for entertainment purposes only.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Can't believe this came out, by the way. Recently, too, like a week ago.
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
I'm sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
So that footage and that...
I have a good mirror. If you guys understand what that quote means, is that he doesn't necessarily see the devil, which is questionable, but he sees the devil in himself when he looks in the mirror. I know you guys probably understand that, but that already says a lot for me.
Released by the DOJ as a part of the latest Epstein files drop. Now, they're claiming right now that this is going to be the last batch of files released, but there are still millions of files that the public has never seen. But I watched this entire interview and I found it to be compelling for many reasons. First of all, if you watch the footage yourself, which I've uploaded in its entirety for everybody to see on my YouTube channel, The Conspiracy Files, you can head there and watch the entire clip if you'd like to, because it's kind of hard to find. But in the interview, Epstein really comes across like he's trying to seem smarter than he is. He doesn't really seem to answer any of the questions. He kind of talks in circles. And I don't know, hearing Epstein's voice, first of all, I heard it, obviously years ago for the first time, but when you first hear his voice and you're unfamiliar, it just kind of shatters how you view him. Like, I know before I actually saw a clip of him talking, I thought he'd have this kind of deep, almost manlier in a weird way sort of voice. But he comes across just as kind of like a little pipsqueak little bitch. You know what I mean? I hate to say that, but I mean, it's just kind of true. And in the interview, he's obviously given a lot of softball questions. Now, interestingly, the guy that's interviewing Epstein in this clip is Steve Bannon. And Steve, if you don't know, is like one of the biggest Trump supporters of all time. And before Epstein was killed, Steve was actually helping Epstein rehab his image. Which to me, it's just hard to believe. I mean, this is a guy that was powerful in the first Trump administration. He's still pretty powerful just based on his following. But MAGA people absolutely loved this guy. And it turns out behind the scenes, he had been helping Epstein try to rehabilitate his image to get away from the pedophile label, even though he knew very well exactly what Epstein was doing, what he had been accused of doing, and he knew that Epstein was a pedophile. So you've got this guy that was supporting Donald Trump and boosting MAGA, while at the same time supporting a pedophile and trying to help a well-known rich pedophile disconnect from his dirty past. Pretty interesting too that Steve Bannon was also a huge supporter of QAnon and Pizzagate, while at the same time he was extremely intimately linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Now I'm going to make a whole video about that later on, because I think that QAnon and Pizzagate were definitely disinformation campaigns, and there's actually evidence of that in the Epstein files, which is crazy to me. But Steve Bannon, I don't know how he's gotten out of all of this unscathed. He's truly an evil, slimy dude, and he's absolutely all over these Epstein files. I mean, he was trying to help Epstein get away from his reputation of being an evil child abuser.
Something is up.
Is that Epstein?
I must be
is
bugging.
it,
Maybe I'm
is that
seeing
Jeffrey?
things. Something is up, bro. Who was that? Who was that? Because he looked very familiar.
Yeah, right.
People are saying that he was at the Grammys. That guy. People are also saying that's Kevin Bacon. That's what they're saying. But he kind of reminded me of someone else. Someone else, bro. That's all I gotta say. I also heard saying his name is like saying Candyman's name. Just make sure you don't say it 3 times because he might appear. Something is up, guys. People are saying that that guy was at the Grammys, and people are also saying that that's Kevin Bacon. But I just can't put it together because it looks so familiar, but I just can't remember the name. Right in plain sight. People were already saying that, nothing at all, because this video is for entertainment purposes only. People are saying that's Kevin Bacon, bro. That's not who you think it is. I think I know, but I don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
Did Jeffrey Epstein and his friends consume human meat? Did they eat babies? Well, I have some shocking new things to show you. First of all is this email exchange sent in July of 2009.
There are millions of babies.
I do not know who
They're
this was
little
sent to
good
and who Jeffrey
vegetable
was
cream.
talking to. But as you can see, somebody at the bottom writes Jeffrey and says, LOL, I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. And then they talk about a schedule and a fuel explosion. I don't know what that even means. But yeah, disturbing. I don't know if cream cheese and baby are on the same level. I mean, babies are babies. Cream cheese is a food that you eat, obviously. And then above,
What type of bastard, man?
So you
Would
can
just
make of that what you will. But
say
to
that
me,
babies
it seems
taste like cream cheese.
disgusting eating babies. I mean, I don't really know what to make of that. There's also a lot of what seems to be coded speak in the Epstein files dealing with muffins. For example, here's one email found in the files that says, "Hey Lynn, can you
Yeah,
please
we gotta
make
learn
sure
to
I
love,
have some
guys.
muffin batter
It's hard to
and
love
baked
sometimes,
muffins
you
to
know?
take with us tomorrow to the ranch.
But
Thanks." Then here's another email.
that
Tea passed on
is
your
just
horror
hard
Easter
to
creature
swallow,
movie.
you know?
Thought you might like Nutty. I doubt he is up to your normal muffin standard. Hope to see you soon. Whatever that means. Here's another one you can pause to read if you'd like. The other thing he would like to change is the size of his muffins. Could you please bake the muffins for Mr. Epstein, make them smaller in size? Your muffin proportions are good. However, they should have no brown sugar on the top. Then again, woohoo, I'm so happy for you. Gobble down a muffin, take a nice long shower, and crawl into bed. Just such a strange email. And this one's pretty bizarre. Hi Sonam, Jeffrey might come back to New York, June, yada yada. I think we should get the muffin ingredients on the airplane this Friday, June 8th, just in case. Do any of the ingredients expire quickly or will all be okay until June 20th? Then in response, there's nothing that will expire quickly and all the ingredients will be ready by tomorrow and will get in airplane this Friday. Then super, thank you. So what the hell kind of muffin are they talking about here? What kind of muffin do you have to fly in ingredients for from God knows where? What type of ingredients get into an airplane? What's up with all of the speak of muffin? There's tons of mentions of pizza, tons of mentions of muffins in these emails. And to me and many others online, this looks to be code speak. Obviously, I don't think they're talking about actual muffin ingredients here, unless there's some super bougie, incredibly sensitive muffin that only the super elite uber rich know about and eat on a regular basis. And yeah, it goes back to messages like this: millions of babies, very little good vegetable cream cheese. And it really makes you wonder what all these people were eating when they were hanging out with Epstein and his gang of ghouls.
Oh, it's all so yummy, 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 yummy. Yeah, it's looking yummy, 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 yummy. All right. So, Justin.
Why am I here? There were so many Epstein Files connections to Justin Bieber's Yummy video. First, let's talk about how he promoted this song by using a bunch of pictures of babies. With the hashtag Yummy, and also wrote Yummy and pizza. And this word Yummy was used like 300 times in these Epstein Files. I haven't seen anybody point this out, but at the end of the video, there's a baby pig on the table. At the start of the video, we see him walking through the kitchen, going to the table with the old rich people as if he's being served. They have very young people as the entertainment. We see Justin with a sandwich in front of him, guarded by a piece of bread. On the sandwich is this red cherry or olive with red little sticks in them, which later becomes black with black sticks. Serving disgusting food with peas, P. Diddy, and this pink. I wanted to point out this looks like a pizza. We see Justin with a pink drink in front of him, messing around with this guy's glasses. All the adults are taking turns sitting down with him. You see this pink goo with circus peanuts on top during the words, "You ain't never running low on supplies." And the pink drink, so think about the pink stuff at these parties. What do you think these peanuts could represent? You see them reaching for the food and them devouring the food. Some girls in white come out from under the table. Notice he's taking things off. We got the white party. Remind you of anybody? And the dance moves are eating. Yes, we see that red outfit on the chair. After the party, that outfit is there. You see this man eating cake. Allegedly could be this guy who founded the record label with Diddy. We see his plate with the cake, peas, and the cherries representing innocence, and then young him with the words yummy. He had mental breakdowns during the filming of this.
Well, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Ship's company. Without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, current coordinates, 76 degrees south and 8 minutes east. Without a doubt, I must tell you, we have finally got to the dome. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning, this is what we woke up to.
Sheesh.
And I must warn you, as beautiful as it looks, there is a million of whales, thousands and thousands and thousands of whales just hovering around us. And we are losing radio signals.
My boy's in the middle of nowhere, dang.
And we are just made it to the dome. Ladies and gentlemen, I will now tell you without a doubt that this is the end. I don't know if you can see behind these mountains or behind these ice walls, the sky is literally touching down. Ladies and gentlemen, I will try to move as slow as I can so you can make your own assumptions whether you believe it or not, but this is the dome. This is finally where the ice wall goes as high up as literally touching the sky, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen. As I said this morning, as we made our final approach here at about 4 a.m. in the morning, we started losing radio signal. Our radars started flashing, and we decided to pitch camp here and just wait and see what's next. So basically, we will be putting down our anchor here for the rest of the day. We're going to pitch camp here for a day or two and really wait what to see. We have called in some other ships to also come and explore this. Those guys have joined us today just for us to see. And I'm telling you, there is just thousands and thousands of whales here, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible. There's some there that are really close. Let me just try to bring them close. These are massive whales. Look at that. Absolutely incredible, ladies and gentlemen. We're just even scared to let out our Zodiacs. Those guys are just standing on the side watching. Absolutely incredible. Every angle you turn around to is just whales and whales and whales, and they look like they're getting aggressive one by one, and they're getting closer and closer to us. They are not scared at all.
There's thousands of whales, and your boys are just
absolutely incredible. So it has become
your boys are just in little boats like that. That's crazy.
To go around this, because obviously, as you can see, the ship won't obviously fit between those, and we don't. As I said, we do not know what lies underneath. And also remember, it's illegal to tamper with these or to hurt these whales here and other aquatic marines down here. Somebody's becoming brave enough there, wants to do it all by himself on a Zodiac. Good luck there, buddy. But I ain't part of that. So now let me show you what's exactly happening here at the dome. Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you, this is the last place on Earth. This is where literally, for flat earthers like me, this is where the clouds touches the ground. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen. We are still trying to figure out what is really happening here. Because it seems like there is a way there that goes up that channel there. Just want to show there's a way that goes up channel there behind this big mountain here. So we're still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Those guys can go close because they're smaller than us.
Whoa, I just realized. Whoa.
But for us, we just have to.
Wow, that was crazy. I was seeing how the clouds are just like hitting the mountains. I was like, dang, bro, like he really might be there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you love this type of content, please drop a sub and a like, and I will see you in the next video, which is in 2 days.